Good evening, everyone. May I please request all our guests to kindly take their seats as we are about to begin the session. A very warm welcome to our esteemed guests, senior officials from the government, our partners, and our UN colleagues for joining us today as we celebrate a truly special milestone. The 80th anniversary of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the World Food Day 2025. Today, we mark 8 decades of FAO's service to humanity, 80 years in advancing food security, nutrition, and sustainable food systems across the globe, and also 8 decades of very strong collaboration with the Government of India. As we proceed with the celebrations today, may I please request our dignitaries to kindly take a seat at the dais. And it is my absolute pleasure to invite on stage Mr. Takayuki Hagiwara, the FAO representative in India, Mr. Shambi Sharp, United Nations Resident Coordinator, India, Mr. A.P. Das Joshi, Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and we are honored to have with us the chief guest for today, Dr. Devesh Chaturvedi, Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Thank you so much. To formally open the evening of celebrations, it is my privilege to invite Mr. Takayuki Hagiwara to kindly deliver the welcome address and also to set the tone for the celebrations today. Mr. Hagiwara, please.
Normally, I don't read out the paper, but I have to. This is a very, very important day, so I cannot make any mistake, and I need to change my glasses as well to read well. Thank you very much for joining us today, and a very good evening, everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to this very special celebration, World Food Day 2025, which also makes the 80th anniversary of Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, FAO. This evening is truly one of the significance and the pride, a moment not only the commemorate the 8th decade of FAO's global journey, but also celebrate 80 years of partnership between India and an FAO. India is a founding member that has stood with us since the very beginning. Allow me first to extend a very welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Devesh Chowdhury. Very sorry. Very difficult. Can you imagine that? Can you pronounce my name properly? The Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmers Welfare. His support has been very crucial in commemorating FAO's 80 years anniversary in India. I'm also very pleased to welcome Mr. A.P. Das Joshi, it's easier, Ministry of the Food Processing Industry, for taking out of his time and being part of this historic celebration. I'm also pleased to welcome senior representative from Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, Dairying, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Ministry of Statistics, Program and Implementation, Ministry of Jal Shakti, and then colleagues from Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And our long-standing partner from ICARs and government institutions. And another special welcome to Mr. Sean B. Sharp, my boss, UN resident coordinator in India, and my colleagues from across the United Nations agencies, Representative IFAD, UN Women, UNHCR, UNEP, UNESCO, UNOPS, and many others who have joined us today. And my special thanks and welcome to Professor Alvey Singh, FAO's former Assistant Director General for the regional representative at the FAO Regional Office, Asia and the Pacific. Welcome, Mr. Singh. To all of our partners from the civil society and the media, thank you for being part of this collective journey. And most importantly, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to the farmers in this room, the real steward of our land and heart of India agri-food systems. Your presence today remind us the ensuring the food security and nutrition sustainability is not the responsibility of one of the institution or this one sector. It is a shared mission that bring us and bind us all together. World Food Days is more than the commemoration. It is a moment to reflect, reconnect, and renew our collective resolve to build a world free from hunger and malnutrition. Every year, this day reminds us that food is far more than what sustains our bodies. It is the foundation of health, dignity, peace, and prosperity. This year's theme, Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future. And around the globe, including Rome, are celebrating today, and which beautifully captures the essence of partnership and shared purpose. It resonates deeply with India's own priorities, ensuring sustainable food production, improving nutrition outcomes, and strengthening the resilience of rural community in the face of climate change. This year, as FAO turns 80, we look back on a remarkable journey that begins in 1945, when nations came together after the Second World War II with the simple yet powerful conviction that hunger should never again be a weapon of despair. From those beginnings, FAO has remained steadfast in this mission to raise the level of nutrition, improve agriculture productivity, and enhance quality of life for rural populations. Over these 8 decades, FAO has evolved into the global leader in knowledge, policy, innovation, supporting more than 109 member nations to strengthen their food system, adapt to climate change, and promote sustainable livelihood. Our vision has grown from increasing production to ensuring that the food systems are inclusive, resilient, and sustainable, that they nourish both people and the planet. India has been the central of this story. As a founding member of FAO, the country has both partner and pathfinder in shaping FAO's work over the decade. From the early years of nation building, FAO walked alongside with India at every key milestone, including the Green Revolution that ended the chronicle food shortage and made India food surplus country. The White Revolution, which made India the largest milk producer in the world. India's Blue Revolution, which made India the second producer of the world aquatic animals. Advancement food safety and nutrition standards through the Codex Alimentarius in collaboration with the FAO. The recent work on the pressure pipe irrigation system aiming to address the water scarcity issues in India. We are developing the carbon fund with the NABARD, and more recently, partnering on initiatives for climate resilient and digital agriculture, migration and livelihood, and women's empowerment in agriculture. These are just a few of many issues that the FAO has worked on with the government together. And India and an FAO have shown how partnership, science, innovation can transform challenges into opportunities. Today, India is not only the food secure, it is the provider of knowledge and solutions to the global south, sharing innovations, technologies, and best practices with the world. As we celebrate this milestone, 80 years of FAOs, 80 years of partnership with India, we also look to the road ahead. The challenges before us, climate change, water stress, land degradation, and growing food demand, remind us that our work must continue with even greater urgency and unity. The next 80 years, I hope 80 years, or more than 100, must be about the deeper collaboration, stronger institutions, and inclusive growth that leaves no one behind. FAO remains fully committed to supporting India's visions of Viksit Bharat, I hope it's okay, 2047, and to working closely with all partners so that India's transformation of its agri-food systems continue to serve as inspiration to the world. As we gather together to celebrate this milestone, I invite all of you to join us in this evening of reflection, recognition, and joy as we honor the people and a partnership that have shaped 8 decades of progress and prosperity. Let tonight be celebration not only the FAO's 80 years and India's remarkable journey, but of the shared spirit that united us. The belief that together and we can create the world with a better production, better nutrition, and a better environment, and a better life for all. Finally, I thank all the FAO staff members here in India for working for the organizing this wonderful event and working toward improving the livelihood of the farmers and developing the partnership with the government. I also thank the FAO staff for this wonderful event, especially the communication administration team. So please enjoy the evening the program and the celebration of our shared achievement. And thank you again for being here. And on behalf of FAO, and as an FAO representative in India, I warmly welcome you all to what promises to be a wonderful evening of celebration, and happy World Food Day and happy 80th anniversary of FAO. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hagiwara, for those inspiring welcome remarks. A sustainable world is one where everyone and every action counts. And this is something that FAO truly believes in. Let's take a moment to journey through history, from FAO's beginning in 1945 to its work today, its commitment in transforming the agri-food system around the world. So let us please watch the FAO 80 anniversary video. As the UN also celebrates its 80th anniversary this year, it is truly a special moment, a time to reflect on 8 decades of collective action for peace, prosperity, and sustainability. I now have the honor of calling upon Mr. Shambi Sharp, the UNRC India, to kindly share the opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Devesh Chaturvedi, Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. You see, it's not so difficult. Then we get to your name, Taka, and then it gets difficult. Mr. A.P. Das Joshi, Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Mr. R.B. Singh, former Assistant Director General, FAO Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific. Actually, a good friend, Dr. Yogesh Suri from Niti Aayog, who has joined us here as well. To all of the UN colleagues here in the audience, especially the Rome Agency colleagues, to all of the distinguished guests, partners, friends, in particular aligned ministries of governments of India. And I would also echo Taka in saying especially pleased to have farmers here in the room. As the grandson of a Kansas farmer, although I was a city boy, I did grow up spending summers on the farm and gained a real appreciation, for how hard is the work ethic, but B, how exciting, thrilling, and sophisticated is the business of farming. I mean, you have to be a business person, you have to be an agronomist, you have to be a climatologist, you have to be you can't even go down the list of all of the different industries, the disciplines that you have to master. So appreciate very much the farmers here. To everybody, आप सभी को UN House में स्वागत है, क्योंकि हमारा घर आपका घर है. Our home is your home, truly, because you are a corner member state of the United Nations family. So it's a real privilege to join all of you here today on this 80th anniversary of the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN and of the UN more broadly speaking as well. The very concept of communities, of countries coming together across divides to formulate collective solutions for common challenges, multilateralism at the core. And I think these, as we look at the global scan, we see two things. One, we see how far the global community has come in terms of efforts to secure food security, nutrition, and livelihoods for every person, and India being very, very much a success story in this regard. And we also see the challenges that remain at the global level, the very significant challenges. Almost 700 million people still going to bed hungry each and every night. And yet, just when we need to be coming together to work more on these challenges, we see a milestone of a rather unhappy sort, which is for the first time since the founding of FAO and of the UN, that some are pulling away from the global commons. So we must redouble these efforts. And India's leadership, India's story has always been vitally important. In fact, we can say for thousands of years as a civilizational power. But perhaps now more than ever, what we are celebrating here today is important in the journey ahead. Dear friends, India's agricultural transformation stands among, as has already been mentioned, one of the great success stories of modern development. And FAO and the UN, rest of the UN family, have been proud partners of this journey from the very beginning. India was a founding member of the UN and of FAO in 1945. And the partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has deepened over many generations. Under government leadership, as has been mentioned from the early days of the Green Revolution to the introduction of modern climate resilient, digitally enhanced agricultural practices, FAO has been a partner with India's progress at every stage. And as the country has moved remarkably from one of food deficits to one with food surpluses, transforming not only the production of crops, but also, importantly, farmers' incomes, market linkages, and resilience to the climate shocks that we see increasing with each and every year. These efforts have led not only to the greater nutritional outcomes of millions, but has also created livelihood opportunities, supported women farmers, and contributed to India's clear leadership in achieving SDG 2, in particular, zero hunger, which of course feeds, no pun intended, into all of the rest of the SDGs. So today, India does indeed stand as one of the world's great leading food producers, contributing to global food security. And for that, we say, Dil se dhanyavad. Dil se dhanyavad Bharat ko kehte hain. Within the UN system in India, our UN country team, FAO is a cornerstone agency, bringing science-based knowledge, field-tested experience, and global best practices to national priorities. And as with the rest of our UN colleagues, helping to cement what we call the two-way partnership, because it's not just about bringing global best practices here, but it's about identifying and codifying Indian best practices and taking Indian best practices the other direction to the international stage for the benefit of the global community and for the benefit of other countries, for example, through South-South cooperation, and especially together with the Rome-based agencies. FAO is particularly focused on helping to deliver, being a partner in India's delivery of the national vision, not just for 2030, not just for the Sustainable Development Goals, but also 2047, Viksit Bharat. We see 2030 and 2047 as very much two stepping stones on the same path to a sustainable and prosperous future. So finally, friends, I would like to say it could not be more, let's say, poetic than to be celebrating this anniversary on World Food Day. So with great pleasure, I wish you all Aap sabko World Food Day ki hardik shubhkamnaएं. Wonderful World Food Day. And the theme of this year's celebration, Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future, captures, again, as I was mentioning, the spirit of what we truly need, which is coming together, working together. And here in India, as we look at the next 80 years, we look at the achievements, 80 or 100 or whatever it will be, we see reason for significant optimism. We see two incredible dividends ripe to be unlocked and unleashed. A demographic dividend, a youth dividend, and a gender dividend, unleashing the potential also of India's women, farmers, and rural community. And together with FAO in the lead, together with WFP, with IFAD, with our other agencies, we have UNDP here and others, and UN Women, we do believe and we recommit ourselves to be your partner on this amazing India development journey. I wish to commend once again the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, the government of India more broadly, Niti Aayog, and every single one of your entities who are forging this incredible India vision as we move forward. Because truly, the world needs more Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, then less. Now is the time. This is the place. Bahut bahut dhanyavad.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp, for your in-depth and very inspiring remarks, and also highlighting the important work of the Ministry of Agriculture and all allied sectors, FAO, and the other UN agencies, as we together shoulder the shared commitment. The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, and FAO shares one of the most enduring and productive partnerships in India's agricultural development story. A collaboration that has helped the nation move from food shortage to food surplus and now towards climate resilient, inclusive, and technology driven agriculture. It is now again my absolute pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Devesh Chaturvedi, Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, to kindly address the gathering and provide the keynote address, sir.
On the dais present UN Resident Commissioner Shambi Shwabji, FAO Rep Takayuki Hagiwara. I hope I'm one up on him now. My colleague Secretary Joshiji, my colleagues from various ministries, Niti Aayog, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sabhi kisan bhai aur behno, and members from the media. It's indeed a privilege and a pleasure to be here today as we mark 80 years of FAO's remarkable journey, which is coinciding with the World Food Day. Sabhi ko Vishwa Khadya Divas ki bhi shubhkamnaएं sabko. On this very special occasion, I extend warm congratulations to FAO, its leadership, member nations, and all the partners and stakeholders for the journey of 8 decades. As rightly mentioned by earlier speakers, India's journey post-independence from a food deficit nation to a food surplus nation, which is now even taking part in exports and becoming a part of the global food basket, has been one which was initiated by the Green Revolution, and it has come to a situation where we are having now an overall holistic policies which ensure that farmers also get reasonable income and their livelihoods are secure. And in this journey, FAO has been a very close partner and a very, very reliable partner. And we sincerely are confident that, and we hope that this partnership reaches new levels as we move forward in future also. We also have to understand the world today faces new generation of challenges like climate change, shrinking natural resources, land degradation, and emergence of new pests and diseases. And these threats transcend borders, and no one nation can think of not being immune to such challenges, which are sort of global challenges. And therefore, there is a greater need of international cooperation, open knowledge sharing, and collective action. We, however, have to understand also and appreciate also that while confronting these challenges, we must acknowledge that countries differ in their ecological, economic, and social realities. Therefore, a one-fit-size approach cannot serve the purpose. We have to be flexible in the approach depending on the challenges of the country. As far as India is concerned, for India, we have 4 basic pillars of our vision in agriculture. Of course, food security remains the paramount vision and the objective. But apart from food security, the nutritional security, because when we talk of hunger and we talk of healthy human being, it's not just hunger, but it's also a balanced diet. So nutritional security becomes equally important now. And then sustainable agriculture, addressing the climate challenges, is also something which now is becoming increasingly important. And overall, the livelihood of the farmers, the income of the family or the household is again something which Honorable Prime Minister addressed this issue when he said that we have to increase the farmers' income in next 5 years and 10 years. And all policies of the government are to, while ensuring food nutritional security and climate change issues, the farmers' income have to improve. And this is all the more important because the 46% of our workforce is dependent on agriculture with 18% of GDP. So the agriculture income is a comparatively less than the households having non-agriculture profession. And since 46% of the workforce is dependent on agriculture, we also have the issue of smaller farms, 1 hectare, 1.5 hectare. 86% of our farmers are in small and marginal sector. Therefore, policies which of the developed world cannot and should not be something which can directly be imposed or implemented in our country. And therefore, our country has its own policy where we are moving ahead with meeting these 4 challenges. In addition, what I would like to mention is that while it's important to produce more and we are producing more, our system where we take pride is the targeted public distribution system, where we are able to feed 80 crore people every month through the food grains through the PDS system, and the procurement of food grains down in supply chain into the families without any leakages, and using technologies to ensure that there is interoperability of the ration cards across the country. These are the initiatives we feel very proud of. And recent initiative, which will again transform the way agricultural services are being given to the farmers, is the digital public infrastructure, where we are ensuring that all farming households have a unique farmer ID with all the information at the back end, ensuring data protection and privacy. And the farmer will be empowered not to, and the best thing about this digital public infrastructure is that the farmer will not have to go to different government departments to get the verification of the credentials of his or her holdings and what the crop is being sown. And the digital public infrastructure system will automatically ensure that whenever a public delivery of service is required in the insurance company, or whether it's in the bank, or whether it's a procurement of the food grain at minimum support prices, that farmer ID will at the back end have all the information, so that service delivery is done at a click of the button. And this digital public infrastructure is something which will transform the way, and it has already started doing when states have started implementing the use cases of the DPI. And we will have a lot of things to tell to the world about the success of the digital public infrastructure as we move forward. Encouragingly, recently, the household survey, the monthly consumption index, which came out through the household survey, it indicates that there is a rising share of nutritional foods like fruit, vegetables, like milk, like meat and eggs, etc., in the consumption pattern. The share of these items is now increasing vis-a-vis the share of just pure food grains, which shows that it gives 2 indications. First off, it is that we are producing more of these, so that the diversification of agriculture into animal husbandry, fisheries, dairying, and horticulture is moving in the right direction, so that more of it is available to the households. And secondly, the incomes are rising so that they can afford it. The affordability of these nutritional diets is also enhanced. And therefore, we would feel that this is again something which is a success of the agriculture sector, the whole of government approach of this government, of our government of India's policy in collaboration with the state governments and all the partners. As mentioned by the earlier speakers, that the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat of 2047 has a very important vision for the agriculture sector. I've already mentioned about that what is the agriculture sector's vision, and the challenges related to this are being met slowly and steadily with the 5-year programs with specific targets and monitorable achievements. Lastly, I would like to mention what our UN representative said about Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and that is the policy. In fact, I will add one more. Apart from the fact that we believe in Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which is the pura Vishwa hi ek parivar hai, the whole world is a family. And the second is Antyodaya, which is we have to reach to the bottom of the pyramid, whoever is the end of the pyramid. That is the target of our policies. That is the target of our policies in India. And same, I'm sure it gels so well with all the UN objectives, whether it's FAO, whether it's UN World Food Program, whether it's IFAD or any other UN organization. It is these two philosophies of life and philosophies of governance, which we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Antyodaya, which is something which is the cornerstone of all our commitments at multilateral level as well as the country level. And therefore, we'll always be strengthening any such partnerships, whether it's in case of removing hunger, providing food security to other countries. And whenever there is pain on the issue of hunger and some sort of distress in any part of the world, you must be rest assured that Indian systems, Indian society also feels pained and is always ready to provide help. Even in those COVID days when we were suffering, we had the vaccines being sent to various countries so that they can also get those benefits which we had ourselves produced through our own research and systems. And so that is a sort of help which will always be required. And we generally don't believe in diplomacy in providing help to distressed areas. Therefore, our shared commitment with FAO, with UN, will always be there. Once again, I would, as we celebrate the 8 decades of services to humanity, India reaffirms its commitment to working hand in hand with FAO and the global community to build sustainable, resilient, and equitable food systems and ensuring better food and better future for all. And I conclude and with extending warm wishes to everyone for a very happy and prosperous Deepavali and the future festivities which will continue after the Deepavali. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for reaffirming the Government of India's commitment to the future of India's agriculture. And as very rightly said, we all walk together in this journey of the shared commitment. And on these lines, we now have a ministry that plays a very vital role in linking India's farmers with markets and ensuring that agricultural produce reaches the consumers efficiently and safely. The Ministry of Food Processing Industries. May I now request Mr. A.P. Das Joshi, Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, to kindly share his thoughts.
So, good evening to all of you. Respected Sri Devesh Chaturvedi ji, Secretary Agriculture, UN Resident Coordinator Sri Shombi Sharp, FAO Representative Sri Takayaki Hagiwara, dear colleagues from different ministries, Niti Aayog, officials from FAO, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to be here amidst all of you on this very happy occasion of 80th birth anniversary of FAO. I'm very happy to be here to join you today to commemorate 80 years of the FAO of the United Nations. Over these years, FAO has played a very, very pivotal role, not only for ensuring food security, food safety, but as Agriculture Secretary was saying, providing nutritious food to all and one. And FAO has done one job to bring all the nations together on the issue of food security and the eradication of hunger and malnutrition and the creation of sustainable, equitable and resilient food systems. On behalf of Government of India, I extend our warm facilitation to FAO for this remarkable journey and for its continued leadership in shaping the global agri-food agenda. India's partnership with FAO is long-standing and deeply valued.
From the earlier years of our development to the present era of technological and economic transformation, FAO has been a steadfast ally in our collective pursuit of food security, agriculture modernization, and rural prosperity. Together, we have worked to strengthen institutional capacities, promote evidence-based policy making, and integrate sustainability into every aspect of the food value chain. This collaboration has enriched India's approach to developing resilient, inclusive, and sustainable agri-food systems. Systems that not only ensure food safety, food availability, but also protect our environment and empower our farmers. Post-harvest loss reduction remains a national priority of India. Over a period of last decades or so, we have done a good job, but still I feel that the agri-waste, food waste is very serious issue in our system. The Ministry of Food Processing has undertaken 3 nationwide post-harvest surveys covering more than 50 crops, creating a strong evidence base for targeted interventions. Building on this, recent FAO NIFTM study supported by the Green Climate Fund has provided the first detailed estimates of greenhouse gas emission from food loss and retail waste losses across 30 crops and livestock products. These findings underscore the close link between food systems, efficiencies, and climate action. Ministry of Food Processing Industries is addressing these challenges through initiatives such as PMKSY, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, PMFME, Prime Minister Formalization of Micro Enterprises, and other schemes, which promotes modern cold chains, primary processing, and value addition. Affordable technologies, on-farm machineries, and digital tools are being promoted to empower smallholders and reduce wastage at every level. Let me again, say that food processing industry is very important and critical when we think about beyond food safety and beyond food security. Today, the choice before the farmer, if you don't have the primary processing, then the choice is either you eat fresh or you waste it. There is no third choice. So food processing industry is a very inclusive sector. When I say inclusive, it is labor oriented. It affects so many farmers. It reduces uncertainties in the mind of farmers. Female workforce is more than 50% in any food processing industry you take. And more than that, it is value addition. It creates value. And you can have the shelf life ranging from 6 months to 6 years. The same food which otherwise would have gone to waste. And in India, with this support of our schemes, we have seen that lot of successful entrepreneurs are coming in the field and creating very good quality products across the value chain. I was just going through this video and there was a line, leaving no one behind. And as Secretary Agriculture was saying, it translates in Hindi to Antyodaya. And I will go beyond. In India, in last 10 years or so, I will not say all, but in all our schemes and policies, now we have adopted this saturation model. Saturation model itself says that nobody should be left behind. And with that, we have achieved outstanding results in many policies, in many schemes, reaching out to the last man standing. And let me say that I'm very thankful and honored to be here. And I wish FAO very successful celebration. And when we go venture in the future, we go beyond food safety, food security, climate change, and value addition. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a very special moment, the release of the FAO 80 coffee table book titled Sowing Hope, Harvesting Success. This mindfully curated publication captures 8 decades of partnership between FAO and India, celebrating milestones, innovations, and the collective spirit that shaped the nation's agri-food journey. May I request our special guest for today's evening to kindly join our dignitaries on the stage for the release of the book. May I please have Professor R.B. Singh, our FAO former Assistant Director General and the regional representative from the FAO Regional Office for the Asia and the Pacific. And I am also very happy and delighted to call our farmers on stage, Ms. Palki Dhanalakshmi from Andhra Pradesh, Ms. Lakshmi Singh from Orissa, Ms. Prafulla Sahu from Orissa, Mr. Mahendra Singh from Haryana, and Mr. S. Gursevak Singh from Punjab. I request our dignitaries. Yes. Palki Dhanalakshmi from Andhra Pradesh, please. Yes. I request all our dignitaries to kindly help us with the release of the coffee table. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. May I request our dignitaries to kindly take the book out of the case?
That's the opening.
Yeah, this is the opening of the release of the coffee table book. I will. Okay. May I have a round of applause, please? This publication embodies FAO's spirit of knowledge, partnership, and progress. This book is a result of the collective effort and the shared history. To everyone who has contributed, especially the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and all our allied ministries, our partners, whether through ideas, words, actions, we offer our deepest gratitude. Thank you so much. Yes, As we continue to reflect on FAO's remarkable journey, we will now hear from those who have shaped FAO's journey over the last 80 years. We begin with a very special video from Mr. Daniel Gustafsson, Special Representative to the FAO Director General, who has played a very key role in strengthening FAO's partnerships across the globe. He is the former FAO Deputy Director General from 2012 to 2020 and the FAO representative in India from 2002 to 2007. An agricultural economist by training, Mr. Gustafsson has over 40 years of experience working on agriculture, natural resource management, and food security issues, and he was stationed across the globe in Brazil, Mozambique, Kenya, India, Washington, D.C., and Rome over the last 40 years. Can we please have his video message being played?
I think the collaboration with India and FAO since 1945, which of course is a huge topic, but it's an interesting one also for me, partly for being in FAOR in India during those years. India was a founding member of FAO, but in 1945, but India was not yet independent, right? So I think from the very beginning, there's been this recognition that India has to be really a key player in FAO, and the experience of India has to be brought into it and so on. And that was true right from the beginning, even before India was independent. Well, there are two things I always say. One is that it would have been advantageous for me had I started in India rather than ended as FAOR in India, I think, because you just learn so much. And in particular, what was especially noteworthy as FAOR in India is how much the government really is in the driver's seat. The other thing that I think was particularly interesting is that India does pilot projects at times in terms of their policy, but on a massive scale, right? So when for example, when the Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme began, the pilot phase was 200 districts. I mean, 200 districts is about 500 million people, right? That's the pilot, right? So what's interesting for government of India and state governments too is then to look at smaller, not tiny, but relatively small, relatively manageable experiences that can come in with from the outside. So I think that was sort of one big feature. Another feature, I think, of a particular note is really how much innovation is going on that feeds into the kind of the archive of what FAO knows, right? It's, I think in all of our projects, at most, it was a mix of innovative local experience and ideas and expertise from outside. But generally speaking, the expertise from outside largely helped to bring attention by the central government into what was happening at the states or at a local level and say, this is really good. You should pay attention to this. I think the other thing for me also that was very interesting was the use of NGOs by government to implement government programs. And in fact, out of that then growing to the point where we use NGOs also to implement our projects. And this was brand new for FAO. And in fact, it was more than new. It hadn't actually come into play yet. So the first really kind of open project was the Andhra Pradesh Farmer Managed Groundwater System project that, Komda was involved in, and it's quite a big one. There are enough idiosyncrasies in how every office operates and what you need and what you think you can do that don't necessarily match larger regulations and kind of thinking about how things should work. So certainly we can't go against the rules and the regulations, but it does require innovation and creativity in how you're going to make that work. And I think there is really just such potential for continued collaboration with India and FAO. It's inevitable that it's going to continue. We hope for another 80 years. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's just so much experimentation and innovation and things that bubble up that where India is solidly in the mix in agriculture, fisheries, forestry, water management, extension. I often tell my extension is a wonderful thing, and in spite of all the difficulties that come up in managing these complicated institutions, it will work out. And I think there's every reason to be optimistic. I think you will really enjoy it.
Now it is time for us to hear from Professor R.B. Singh, the former Additional Director General and Regional Representative, FAO Regional Office for the Asia and the Pacific, and one of India's most respected voices in agricultural science and policy. Professor Singh has been awarded the Padma Bhushan by the Honorable President of India, one of India's highest civilian honors that recognizes distinguished service of a high order in the nation in any field in 2003. During his past 59 years, Professor Singh had held several other coveted positions, both at national and international levels. May I please request Professor Singh to kindly share your thoughts as FAO celebrates 80th anniversary.
A very good evening to each one of you, ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest, Dr. Chakravarti, Dr. Joshi, Dr. Sharp. Dr. Sharp has left. Of course, Dr. Hagiwara, our very distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Kisan Bhaiyo and Behno, happy 80th anniversary. आप सबको आज के दिन की बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं. As a matter of fact, when we look at the Government of India, FAO, which you all just heard, in being one of the founding members of FAO, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, which you call UNSDCF 2003-2007, if you look at their programs together and you look at the 4 pillars, which stands with 4 Ps, number 1 is people, 2 is planet, 3rd is prosperity, and the 4th is participation. Now these 4 together hold the future for the humanity as a whole. As a matter of fact, sustainable agricultural production, food and nutrition security, climate resilience and sustainable natural resource management, and inclusive gender-responsive agri-food systems, governance and promotion of private sector investment. All these combined together give us the future for making India a Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. We all also know that in India, agriculture has been the backbone of India's economy and development and the livelihood security. As a matter of fact, it is agriculture which has ensured the kind of comfort today that we are able to have in terms of food security, nutritional adequacy, at the same time, the livelihood security and agrarian development. As we go along, as we have seen, in all this process, India cannot just say that it has been done by itself. FAO has been playing a catalytic role in India's progress in the area of crop and animal production and food security. As we can see, as the diversification has been increasing along with intensification. So intensification, diversification, coherent together is something which is unheard of, and it is happening in India, particularly because of good cooperation from FAO, guidance from FAO policies and support. Now, FAO has provided key policy and technical inputs in a range of areas involving the food and farm sectors, and also it has provided the knowledge. And likewise, India has always been seen by FAO as the think tank country, India as a whole, as a think tank country. And therefore, the reciprocation between India and FAO is obviously very natural, and they are complementing. 1 + 1 is more than 11, as a matter of fact. When we look back to the kind of developments that have been taking place, and we see the growth of various activities, and we look at the program and the programs which have run in India over the years for several years. As I go along, I want to mention two particular examples. As a matter of fact, from India, the contribution that in terms of human resources one has made to the FAO in various ways is well known to you all, right from the Director General to the level of all you think of in all countries, as a matter of fact, Indian delegates, Indian experts have been nominated from FAO, and FAO has worked through those people in a very rich manner. So true in global sense, this has happened. I want to mention only Dr. B.R. Sain here, particularly who was the director in 1956 to 67 for 11, 12 years. During his term, the World Food Program was formed. And please remember, this World Food Program has won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2020. So you can see that the creation of an Indian as a Director General of FAO has brought the Nobel Peace Prize to FAO in the form of the World Food Program. This I thought is extremely important for us to remember. While I notice here that a hand in hand is the main theme here, obviously working together, 1 + 1, as I said, is more than 11. If that be the case, the integration, synergy, and the process of adding more and more to the process, particularly through the work with the private sector and so on. But how come, when we think of hand in hand of India initiative, the key facts we all know that relates to eradicating poverty, ending hunger and malnutrition, reducing inequalities, bringing equity and so on, raising incomes, improving nutrition, empowering vulnerable populations, enhancing resilience to climate change, and so on. If this is what the hand in hand does, then how come when 72 countries are member of a hand in hand initiative, how come India is not a member of that? I have this question, sir, to you, Chaturvedi Sahab, and to you also, sir, Joshi Sahab, that why this has not happened. There should be some way to think about it. Let India lead in the process. Hand in hand is the main theme, and being celebrated on 80th birthday anniversary, I pray that anyone who is responsible for this, please look into the process and see that this is allowed to happen. I will also like to briefly narrate, if this is allowed to happen, and if we can take care of it. As a matter of fact, India, as we have gone along in the process, if you look at today's projects in India, there are about 12 projects which are very multidimensional and so on. And forget about the archives. Archives are very rich and equally comfortable in terms of contribution. Now, when we look at it, I have done an analysis of what these 12 projects have done to India and for the globe as a whole. Number one, it has emphasized on sustainable agriculture, global environmental gains, whole food system approach to be adopted, and that will reach to the enhanced productivity. Second, promoting biodiversity, enhancing access and quality of traditional varieties along with traditional knowledge, particularly of tribal women. Third, climate resilience, sustainable land and water management particularly through smart irrigation and efficient agroecological practices. Fourth, climate financing, carbon economy, carbon sequestration, and of course, fulfillment of the Paris Agreement. And the promise made by India for the Paris Agreement is so huge that are we able to meet it by the date that it has been contemplated? We are very way off in the process. I pray that today we take a vow that we will look into this total carbon economy system in a very constructive way and proceed together. 5, value chain management. The Joshi Saab emphasized about the saving the waste. If we save the waste, we save 15% of the total production, as a matter, 15 to 20% of total production in the process. And mind you, to increase 15, 20% total production today on about 350 million tons of food grain produced in this country is amazing. If this can be done, that will mean food for the world as a whole, as a matter of fact. It's not happening. Let us see that it happens. So value chain management, farmer market linkages, welfare of smallholder farmers, particularly it was mentioned that 70 to 85% of the farmers are smallholder farmers, promotion of social inclusion and adoption of nutrition-focused sustainable value chains is the most important need of the day. One health approach, whether it is the soil, whether it is the plant, whether it is the animal, whether it is the mind, or the vice versa as we go backward, all connected together. One health universe is something, one health, one world. And if that concept is allowed to multiply, then of course the progress will be much faster. Finally, whatever we do, we must be able to monitor it, we must be able to evaluate it, we must be able to learn from our mistakes and also be able to really see that the award who have done better. So a differentiated responsibility, a differentiated accountability, and also a differentiated rewarding is absolutely necessary. So these are the ways by which India can really make a difference in the total process. I will also like to submit very briefly just one or two more things that the FAO future work in India should focus on, of course, as we mentioned, promoting the regenerative agriculture to restore soil health and ecosystem balance, support transitioning to renewable energy in agriculture, such as solar-powered irrigation. India as a global leader in the field of environmental conservation through massive afforestation, the national agroforestry policy has to be implemented comprehensively, and renewable energy regeneration programs have to be again initiated with the kind of thinking that the NAP provides. We must be able to promote the youth engagement in agriculture with the help of modern technology and entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship today is much more important than ever before. And the youth to be attracted towards the entrepreneurship is very important. We should be able to double India's agro export by ensuring value addition the next 10 years with a focus on perishables, again, Joshi Sahab, adhering to the international standards and market intelligence. Finally, I thought I will mention my personal experience, how India has been working with FAO and how FAO has been working and interacting with India. It was long ago when many of you might remember when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. The FAO Director General visited. I was asked if I can accompany. I accompanied the FAO Director General to meet Rajiv Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India. You know what Rajiv Gandhi asked? This is again amazing to me. He asked, can we request FAO to bring hybrid rice to India? And hybrid rice in China, as you know, 15% of the total, 50% of the total production in China today is by hybrid rice. And in India, we started with 0.1 million hectare. Of course, we have reached hardly 2 million or so today. But then the kind of progress that would have come, and this is where the Prime Minister, the then late Rajiv Gandhi ji requested, can we bring the China here? Immediately, I prepared a project TCP for FAO. FAO immediately sanctioned in no time, and we brought Yuan Long Ping, the father of hybrid rice from China to India, 4 times. And every 4 times, I was able to take him to the Prime Minister to show him that he is the father of hybrid rice. And this is how you can see, 1-to-1, right from the Prime Minister level to the Director General of FAO level, the interaction and the activity at the ground level, and the people who are scientists to really look into it with the kind of administration and the management of the Ministry of Agriculture is something amazing. So I thought I will share this experience to you, that this kind of interaction and one-to-one relationship bondage can really make the difference and can make you walk together. Let us say in this process of walking together, nobody will be left behind. Sabka saath, sabka vishwas, sabka saath, sabka vishwas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your very insightful reflections of working with FAO and what FAO has done over the past 8 decades. Every work of FAO, every discussion of FAO centers around one very important aspect, and they are our farmers. Every FAO milestone ultimately comes down to the heart of agriculture, and they are our farmers. We will now be joined by our farmers from Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana for a very interesting knowledge sharing session on Farmers Spotlight. This special session celebrates their innovation, resilience, and stories of change. I'm very happy to invite our farmers once again on stage. Ms. Palki Dhanalakshmi from Andhra Pradesh, please. I also thank Mr. Devesh Chaturvedi for joining us today. Thank you so much, sir. We are truly, indeed, actually very honored to have Dhanlakshmi with us today, who has a lot of stories of resilience to share with us in the next 30 minutes that we have in the session. I also welcome on stage Lakshmi Singh from Orissa to kindly join us, please. She is a progressive farmer from Kalahandi, Orissa. May I have now Prafulla Sahu from Kalahandi, Orissa, please? May I now have Mr. Mahendra Singh from Haryana and Mr. S. Gursevak Singh from Punjab. To moderate this session, we have our very own colleague from FAO, Dr. Manoj Mishra, the National Technical Coordinator of JEF6 Green Ag Project. Please note that this session is going to be a bilingual session. And we also have with us Ms. Seela Patnaik from Orissa and Ms. Kalyani Bodu from Andhra Pradesh, who will help us with the translation. The floor is yours, Manoj.
Thank you, Pooja, and very good evening to everybody. We are actually honored to have this session just because it's the World Food Day. And as Pooja mentioned about it, being with farmers for FAO is heart and soul, and that too on the day of the World Food Day. So I take this opportunity to bring you some of the questions that we might be having with our farmers, the short interactions. To begin with, I will just try to introduce each one of the farmers. We have Lakshmi Singh on my left. She is from Dharamgarh village in Kalahandi district of Odisha, one of the drought-prone districts. With over 2 decades in organic and climate smart and climate resilient farming, Lakshmi Singh has turned her fields into a models of sustainability, inspiring women across Kalahandi to adopt eco-friendly practices and achieve financial interdependence. Now, हम आपसे आज के प्रश्न की शुरुआत करते हैं और आपके इस शाम को यहाँ इस यूएन हाउस के प्रांगण में आने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इस पूरे जर्नी में जो आपने काम किया है कालाहांडी डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे, हमारे दर्शकों के साथ और हमारे इस लोगों के साथ आपको जरा अपने अनुभव के साथ आप बताने की कोशिश करें कि आपने जो भी किया है वो खेती को टिकाऊ या मौसम के हिसाब से मजबूत करने के लिए क्या क्या बदलाव किए हैं।
थैंक यू, धन्यवाद। यहाँ पे उपस्थित सारे महानुभावों को मेरा नमस्कार। उड़ीसा के माटी से मैं सबको नमस्कार अर्पण करती हूँ। मैं लक्ष्मी सिंह हूँ और मैं एक किसान परिवार की बेटी हूँ। हमारे घर में बचपन से ही मेरे माता पिता किसान रहे हुए हैं। हम लोग जस्ट मार्जिनल फार्मर हैं। हमारे पास 2 एकड़ की ज़मीन थी और वहीं से हम लोग खेती करते थे बचपन में। तो जब हम छोटे थे तभी से हमें सिखाया गया कि जब हम सुबह उठते थे तो हमारे मम्मी पापा बोलते थे जाओ गाय के घर को साफ करो, गोबर साफ करो। और स्कूल से पहले हमें गाय को लेके जाना पड़ता था चराने के लिए। उसके बाद में हम लोग गाय को ला के बांध के फिर स्कूल जाते थे। तो वहीं से ही मेरी शिक्षा हुई थी कि गाय क्या होती है, गोमूत्र क्या होता है, गोबर। और हमने मेरे घर में मैं देखी हूँ, क्योंकि हमारी 2 एकड़ की जमीन थी, उससे ज्यादा तो नहीं थी। हमारे जमीन में हम लोग खुद का गोबर से जो खाद होता था उसी को ही हम लोग लगाते थे। और हमारा खुद का बीज, हमारे गांव में कोई कभी भी बीज खरीदे नहीं है। मेरा उम्र अभी 45 इयर्स है और मैं आपको 30 इयर्स बैक की बात बोल रही हूँ। तो कभी मैंने बीज खरीदते नहीं देखा, मेरे गांव में खाद खरीदते नहीं देखा। तो इसी के बाद में जब मेरी मैरिज हो गई कलाहांडी जिले में, तो मैं जिस घर में मैरिज हुआ मैंने देखा कि यहाँ सब मार्केट के ऊपर डिपेंड है। चावल भी खरीदते हैं, दाल भी खरीदते हैं, सब्जी भी। तो मैं मेरे इन-लॉज से बोली कि आप खरीद के क्यों खाते हैं, खुद का क्यों कुछ नहीं करते? तो बोले हमारा जमीन नहीं है। तो उसी दौरान मुझे हमारे जो लैंड था वहां पे और जमीन में उपजाऊ नहीं हुई, तो उसको बेचना पड़ा। तो 22 लाख रुपया मुझे मिला। मेरे मम्मी और पापा मेरे जो हिस्सा होता है उसको दिए। तो मैं मेरे इन-लॉज को बोली ये जमीन का पैसा है और जमीन में ही लगाएंगे। और मैं 15 एकड़ की जमीन खरीदी कलाहांडी में। उसी टाइम में अराउंड 2008 और 9 में मैं खरीदी और वहां पे मैं खेती शुरू की। तो क्योंकि कलाहांडी एक बैकवर्ड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है और मैं एक वुमेन हूँ, मैं आज यहाँ पे जो भी हूँ दिस इज ओनली फॉर द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर। उसी ने मुझे पहचान दिया। हाँ, मुझे खेती तो आती थी। हम लोग पूरा ट्रेडिशनल ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मेथड में हमारे पास खेती करते थे। लेकिन जब कलाहांडी में आए और अपने 9 एकड़ की अपलैंड है, 5 एकड़ की हमारी लो लैंड है, तो उसमें जब खेती शुरू किए तो एज ए वुमेन कंसंट्रेशन हमारे पास आया और ऑफिसर्स जो है वो अपना हाथ बढ़ाए, हमें हेल्प किए। और क्योंकि हमारी जानने की जिज्ञासा होती है, हम उनके पास पहुंचे, पूछे ये कैसे होता है, तो उन्होंने पूरा हमें बताया, प्रोसेस बताया कि आप इस तरीके से करो। तो उसी टाइम में वहां पे कलाहंडी अभी के टाइम में वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट पेडी प्रोड्यूसर, मतलब सेकंड लार्जेस्ट पेडी प्रोड्यूसर डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। लेकिन लोगों के पास में ऐसे न्यूज आती थी कि लोग सुइसाइड कर रहे हैं, या फिर माइग्रेटेड होते थे आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना और विशाखापट्टनम। तो मैं मेरे हस्बैंड से पूछी कि ये लोग क्यों ऐसे करते हैं, तो बोले कि यहाँ पे हमारा अपलैंड में पानी की कमी है, और जब सूखा पड़ता है तो उनकी जो खेती में लॉस हो जाती है, तो इधर वो लोग सुइसाइड करते हैं, नहीं तो माइग्रेट होते हैं। तो मैं बोली कि हमारे गांव में तो कभी ऐसे हमने नहीं सुना, सबका कम कम जमीन होता था, लेकिन कभी किसी ने सुइसाइड नहीं किया, और सब अपना खुद का सीड और खुद के खाद से ही अपनी शुरुआत करते थे, खेती करते थे। तो हम उसी में स्टार्ट किया, अपना जमीन खरीदे, गाय भी खरीदे, और खुद का गोबर गौमूत्र से शुरुआत की, और एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट से हमें बहुत सहायता मिली। उसी टाइम में कुछ दिन के बाद परंपरागत कृषि विकास योजना करके गवर्नमेंट ने एक लॉन्च किया, जहां से, क्योंकि मैं थोड़ी वोकल हूं, तो मुझे टीओटी दिया गया, और मुझे ट्रेनिंग मिला टीओटी में कि आप रिसोर्स पर्सन बनो और ट्रेनिंग दो, और हमारे जितने किसान भाई बहन हैं, तो उसमें मुझे काफ़ी सारी नॉलेज मिली। ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कैसे किया जाता है, उससे पहले जस्ट ट्रेडिशनल मेथड की नॉलेज थी, हम कैसे जीवामृत बनाते हैं, बीजामृत से कैसे बीज को शोधन करते हैं, और ये हांडी खत कैसे बनाते हैं, पेस्ट कंट्रोल के लिए अग्निस्त्र, अस्त्र, ब्रह्मास्त्र, ऑर्गेनिक यूरिया, ऑर्गेनिक पोटास, ये सब की सारी नॉलेज मुझे एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट से मिली, और हमने इसको बताया। लेकिन मैं सोची कि पहले अपना डेमो दिखाते हैं, किसान ऐसे तो विश्वास करेंगे नहीं। तो हमारा जो 9 एकड़ की जमीन है, अभी भी मेरे पास स्टैंडिंग क्रॉप है, मैं मिलेट करती हूँ अराउंड 2 हेक्टर, उसमें मेज भी कुछ करती हूँ, आई एम अडॉप्टिंग, मैं मिक्स क्रॉप ही करती हूँ, और उसमें कुछ 2 एकड़ करीबन वेजिटेबल करती हूँ। तो ऐसे में मुझे 2 क्रॉप में मिला के अराउंड 10 लाख या 12 लाख की मुझे मिल जाती है। और कुछ जो खेती है उसमें मैं पैडी करती हूँ। मुझे एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिसर्स केवीके के साइंटिस्ट ने बताया, लक्ष्मी आप अगर इसको प्रोफेशन करना चाहते हो तो ये तो कलाहंडी की मिट्टी है, ब्लैक सॉइल है, इसमें आप पैडी कर सकते हो। तो मैंने पैडी किया, लेकिन मंडी में नहीं बेचे। मैं ब्रीडर सीड CRI से लाई, OUT से सीड्स लाके उसको मल्टीप्लाई किया और 20 kg का बैग बनाए, और कम रेट में 50 रुपया 60 रुपया पर केजी में करके फार्मर्स, हमारे जो फार्मर्स हैं हमारे, उनको मैंने दिया। तो उसी में भी ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट हुआ। तो ये ऐसे ही करके मैसेज गया कि हम ऑर्गेनिक मेथड में भी कर सकते हैं। तो हमारा अभी समूह है, एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट के हेल्प से हमने फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी बनाया है। यहाँ अराउंड 400 फार्मर्स हैं, और हम लोग ऑर्गेनिक एग्रीकल्चर की वहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस करते हैं और डेमो दिखाते हैं, दिखा के सिखाना लोगों को, ना कि बोल के सिखाना। तो लोग देख के सीखे हैं, और लोगों को अभी विश्वास भी आया है कि नहीं, ऑर्गेनिक में खेती हो सकती है। थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद लक्ष्मी जी। इस सभा में आज के दिन जो हमारे समक्ष जो बैठे हुए हैं लोग, इसमें कुछ नीति गढ़ने वाले लोग हैं, कुछ वैज्ञानिक भी हैं, कुछ कार्यरत लोग भी हैं जो कि खास करके कभी कभी फील्ड में जाकर के भी काम देखते हैं, हमारे जैसे लोग। तो मैं ये आपसे पूछना पसंद करूंगा कि आपके अनुभव से जो भी आपने किया, जिस तरह से आपने बताया, बहुत अच्छी पायदान के तौर पे आपने काम की, इसके लिए बहुत ही इस्तकबाल आपका। लेकिन आपने जो एक किसान, सरकार और आम लोग मिलकर के कैसे काम करें ताकि सबको फायदा मिले और कोई पीछे ना रह जाए, हमने बात की थी ना अपने फिल्म में, लीव नो वन बिहाइंड। तो आपका क्या सूचना है, आप क्या कहना चाहते हो कि किसान, सरकार और आम लोग, और साथ में जुड़ गए बहुत सारे लोग जो कि आज हमारे समक्ष बैठे हुए हैं।
थैंक यू सर। मैं यहाँ बहुत गौर से सबका स्पीच सुन रही थी। हमारे प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी सर आए थे, उन्होंने बोला यहाँ पे वसुदेव कुटुंबकम सर ने भी बोला, और आप हमारे फाओ के जब स्पीच चल रही थी तो वहाँ पे आप लोगों ने ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन की बात की, व्हाइट रेवोल्यूशन की बात की, ऐसे बहुत सारी बात की। तो हम जब ट्रेनिंग ले रहे थे ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग का, तो हम भी समझा रहे थे फूड सिक्योरिटी तो आ गया है, पर न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू को अभी खाद्य में बढ़ाना है, हमारे खाद्य में न्यूट्रिशनल सिक्योरिटी को लाना है। मैं कुछ दिन पहले मेरे सासू माँ को पतंजलि आश्रम लेके गई थी ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, क्योंकि वो कभी उसकी लाइफ में कभी मेडिसिन नहीं खाए हैं। तो हम लोग आपका जो क्वेश्चन है कि सरकार कैसे काम करेगी, मैं कुछ दिन पहले FIC की चेयरमैन भी थी, फार्मर टेक्नोलॉजी जो है हमारे आत्मा के लेवल में, उसमें भी मैं हमारे ब्लॉक में चेयरमैन थी। तो यहाँ पे हमें फार्मर्स जो हैं, जो किसान हैं, अभी के टाइम में प्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं, उपजाऊ तो कर रहे हैं, पर उनको मशीनरीज की यूजेस, टेक्नोलॉजी की यूजेस, उनके पास इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचाना बहुत जरूरी है। और उसकी जो उपजाऊ है, सर यहाँ पे हमारे पास है सेक्रेटरी सर, उनकी जो उपजाऊ है उसको कैसे मार्केटिंग किया जाए। मार्केटिंग के लिए अभी भी बोल रही हूँ, मैं जिस ब्लॉक से आई हूँ वहाँ पे मेरे ब्लॉक्स में हमारे जो फार्मर है अराउंड, मैं सुबह बात कर रही थी, अराउंड वहाँ पे शायद 3,000 क्विंटल की मेज है, लेकिन बारिश में कुछ लॉस हो गई। तो हमें अभी क्या चाहिए, यहाँ पे सरकार की हेल्प चाहिए। सरकार की क्या हेल्प चाहिए, हमें गोडाउन चाहिए, और जो RMC की गोडाउन है वो फार्मर को मिलती नहीं है, हाँ, वो तो अलग ही पर्पस में मिलती है। तो हमें हमारे उपजाऊ हम जो उपजाऊ करते हैं उसको रखने के लिए ठीक टाइम में हमें लो कॉस्ट में गोडाउन चाहिए। अगर हम वेजिटेबल फार्मिंग करते हैं तो हमें कोल्ड स्टोरेज चाहिए, कुछ उसी टाइम के लिए जिस टाइम में हम मार्केट में नहीं बेच पाते हैं अपना सामान, तो उसी के लिए हमें कोल्ड स्टोरेज चाहिए। और अभी के सरकार में रोड बन चुका है, हमारे हर एक गांव में रोड है, लेकिन यही गोडाउन की कमी है, कोल्ड स्टोरेज की कमी है, और मार्केटिंग। क्योंकि अभी भी हम जब वेजिटेबल लगाते हैं, अभी मार्केट में टमाटो का केजी 60 रुपया 40 रुपया है, लेकिन हम तो बेचते हैं 12 रुपया में ही, 10 रुपया 12 रुपया में बेचते हैं। तो अगर हम 40 रुपया में बेचेंगे तो वो पैसा हमारे फार्मर्स के पॉकेट में जाएगा, किसान के पॉकेट में जाएगा, तो ज्यादा इनकम हमें मिलेगा। ये जो बीच में जिसके पास पैसा है, अगर बोला जाए गोडाउन है, कोल्ड स्टोरेज है, उसके पास पैसा चला जाता है। तो इसके ऊपर में सरकार को काम करने की जरूरत है। और एक बात बोलूंगी, आप जैसे बोल रहे थे कि FAO को ऑर्गेनिक रिवॉल्यूशन लाना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर हमको धरती को बचाना है तो केमिकल फ्री फार्मिंग कराना ही पड़ेगा। क्यों, अभी उड़ीसा में आपने न्यूज में सुना होगा, यूरिया के लिए सब तरफ से इतना बड़ी मैंने न्यूज में आई थी, यूरिया ने, अगर हमें क्यों डिपेंडेंट होना है, हम तो अपना यूरिया बना सकते हैं ना। तो इसमें सरकार की बहुत भूमिका है। अगर सरकार यहाँ पे बोलेगी कि आपको केमिकल बेचना है, टारगेट लगाएगी, और इधर में बोलेगी कि ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग नहीं हो रही है, तो वो नहीं हो पाएगा। सरकार को भी पॉलिसी के लेवल में चेंजेस लाना पड़ेगा। और ऑर्गेनिक के जितनी भी बायो फर्टिलाइजर है उसको स्कीम्स में डालने पड़ेंगे उनको, कि स्कीम के माध्यम में भी वो फार्मर तक पहुंचे, ताकि कम रेट में उनको वो मिले। तो हम इसमें अपना जलवायु में जो अभी एनवायरनमेंट की जो चैलेंजेस है उसको हम बचा सकते हैं। और न्यूट्रिशनल फास्ट, तो हम जब किसान हैं, हम तो उपजाऊ करते हैं ना, हम तो सुबह उठते ही जितने लोग हैं उनकी प्लेट की बात करते हैं, हमारी प्लेट के साथ दूसरों की प्लेट की बात करते हैं, तो उसको सिक्योर करना जरूरी है। तो सरकार की भूमिका पॉलिसी लेवल में बहुत ज्यादा है, और हमारी भी भूमिका यहाँ पे है कि हम सरकार को हेल्प करें वहां पे। थैंक यू सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद लक्ष्मी जी। आपके इस पूरे पॉइंट्स को, मुझे लगता है कि आप एक अच्छे किसान तो हो ही, साथ में एक अच्छे शिक्षक भी हो, इसलिए हमारे समक्ष जो लोग बैठे हुए हैं उनके समक्ष बहुत सारे चीज ऐसे सीखने को मिले और हमें आगे अनुसरण करने में वो एक बहुत सहायक प्रदान करेंगे। अब हम अपने दूसरे किसान बहन के साथ बात करना चाहते हैं। धनलक्ष्मी जी नमस्कार। Uh, Dhanalakshmi is from Modapalli Food Farmer Producer Organization. She has spent 2 decades advancing sustainable black pepper cultivation, raising both productivity and quality to international standards within her own community. Has been toiling hard, and she is one of the front runners in terms of lot of information related to spices. मैं आपसे संक्षिप्त 2 चीजों पे पूछना चाहूंगा कि ब्लैक पेपर में जो आपने जो काम किया, काली मिर्च में जो एक विभाग के तौर पे देखा जाए और हमारे फूड सिस्टम में उसका जो योगदान देखा जाए तो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होता है और जो हेल्थ के ऊपर भी काफी अच्छा एक होता है. आपको क्या प्रेरणा मिली आज के इस दिक्कतों को देख करके और भविष्य को क्या किधर ले जाना चाहते हैं जिसमें ये आपने ये काम शुरू किया कि आप ब्लैक पेपर में ऐसा काम करेंगे?
ఎలా చేయాలి ఏంటి అని చెప్పేసి నేర్చుకున్నారు కదా, దానికి మీరు ఎలా తెలుసుకున్నారు ఆ విషయాన్ని? మీకు ఎలా బాగా మిరియాలు బాగా చేస్తే ఏ పద్ధతులు పాటిస్తే మిరియాలు బాగా వస్తాయి, పండించిన తర్వాత మనకి అవి మనం ఆరోగ్యానికి కూడా ఉపయోగిస్తాం కదా, దానివల్ల ఉపయోగాలు ఏంటి, మన గ్రామంలో మిరియాలు పండించడం వల్ల మీరు ఎటువంటి లాభాన్ని పొందారు అది సార్ అడిగారు. మీరు ధనలక్ష్మి గారు, మీరు మీ పేరు తర్వాత గ్రామం పేరు చెప్పి మిరియాల కోసం మీరు ఏమేం చేశారు చెప్పండి.
నా ఒక ధన్యవాదములు సార్. నా పేరు పాలిక ధనలక్ష్మి, మా ఊరు పేరు గురగారువు, గ్రామం మోదపల్లి పంచాయతీ, పాడేరు మండలం, అల్లూరు సీతారామరాజు జిల్లా, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్.
మిరియాల గురించి చెప్పండి. మీ గ్రామంలో మిరియాలు పండిస్తున్నారా?
పండిస్తున్నాం మేడం.
మీకు ఎన్ని ఎకరాలు మిరియాలు ఉంది?
4 ఎకరాలు అంటే 2 ఎకరాలు మేడం.
2 ఎకరాలు. ఓకే, మిరియాలతో అంతర పంటకి ఏమన్నా వేసుకున్నారా?
వేసుకున్నాం మేడం. పసుపు
మిరియాలతో పాటు మీరు
కాఫీ కూడా వేసుకున్నాం మేడం.
కాఫీ కూడా వేసుకున్నారు.
మిరియాలు 2 కలిపి వేసుకున్నాం మేడం.
ఓకే, మిరియాలు పండించడం వల్ల మీరు దాని నాణ్యతను ఎలా పెంచారు? మిరియాలు పండించడం వల్ల మీకు ఆదాయం ఎలా పెరిగింది?
మాకు మిరియాలు పండించడం వల్ల ఆదాయం చాలా బెనిఫిట్గా ఉంది మేడం. అంటే మళ్ళీ రేటు కావాలనేసి మేము అనుకుంటున్నాం మేడం.
మీకు ఏ ప్రాజెక్టు ద్వారా ఈ మిరియాలు అన్నది మీరు పండించడం అంటే దిగుబడి పెంచడానికి ఏమేం చర్యలు తీసుకున్నారో చెప్పండి.
STDF ప్రాజెక్టు ద్వారా.
ఓకే, STDF ప్రాజెక్ట్లో మీరు ఏమేమి నేర్చుకున్నారు?
అంటే మిరియాలు ఎలా తయారు చేయాలో, ఎలా తీయాలన్నది మీరు చెప్పారు కదా మేడం, అందులో మేము నేర్చుకున్నాం.
She greeted सभी को नमस्कार कर दिया. She greeted everybody, all the officers and co-farmers. She is from Guragaru village, Modapalli Panchayat, Alluri Sitaramraju district, Andhra Pradesh. That is the area of Eastern Ghat area. Majorly, their olden days they used to do podo cultivation. Now they shifted to completely coffee and pepper. Because of coffee and pepper, now they are earning good amount of income. In that also, because of STDF project, this is the STDF project area, FAO funded. FAO and Spices Board together, we did that project in that village. Because of that project, STDF project, they started learning of quality management in pepper. Previously, they used to do everything in manually. Even black pepper, they used to do with leg trampling, removal of corns with legs. But now with machines they are doing. So because of this project, they started management of quality
they are now getting good quality produce. That's why pepper may they are getting good income also. That's what she is telling.
Thank you. Just one last question, if you can. What is the message to the next generation in the Paderu community there from the farmer, please?
ధనలక్ష్మి గారు, మీరు మిరియాలలో మిరియాలు పండిస్తున్నారు, కాఫీ పండిస్తున్నారు కదా. ఇంతకు ముందు పొడో కల్టివేషన్ చేసేవాళ్ళు కదా, అది ఆపేసి మిరియాలు, కాఫీ, మిల్లెట్స్, మీరు చోళ్ళు, పసుపు, అల్లం ఇవన్నీ పండిస్తున్నారు కదా. ఇవన్నీ పండించడం ద్వారా మన గ్రామంలో ఉన్న రైతులకు మీరు ఏమని చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నారు? ప్లస్ మీరు ఏదన్నా FAOని అడగాలనుకున్నా కానీ అడగచ్చు.
మాకు ధాన్యాలు అంటే మేము పండిస్తున్నది ఏంటంటే మేడం, ఏదైనా కెమికల్ లేకుండా మేము పండించుకుంటున్నాము, న్యాచురల్గాను. అవి మందులు గట్రా ఏమి వాడట్లేదు మేడం. మేము ప్రతి ఒక్క వస్తువు కూడా న్యాచురల్గానే పండిస్తున్నాం.
ఇంకా చెప్పు.
ఇంకా మాకు చెప్పవలసింది ఏంటంటే మేడం, మాకు మిరియాల ద్వారా మాకు మంచి క్వాలిటీగా రావాలి, అలాగే ఆర్గానిక్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా కావాలి అనేసి కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
ఇంకా చెప్పండి, మీరు చెప్పాలనుకుంది. ఇక్కడ వేదిక మీద అందరూ పెద్దవాళ్ళు అందరూ ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి మీరు చెప్పాలనుకున్నది నిదానంగా చెప్పండి, వింటారు అందరూ.
ఇంకా పసుపు కూడా కెమికల్ లేకుండానే మేము పండిస్తున్నాం సార్. అంటే ఆర్గానిక్. మాకు జియో ట్యాగింగ్ కూడా కావాలి, పసుపులకు మంచి ధర కావాలి.
ఓకే, ఇంకేం పంటలు పండిస్తున్నారు మీరు? పసుపు, మిరియాలు, కాఫీ కాకుండా
సోలు, సామాలు, కందులు అలాంటివి పండిస్తాం మేడం.
పండ్ల తోటలు ఏమన్నా పండిస్తున్నారా?
పండ్ల తోటలు మిరప, అరటి, స్ట్రాబెర్రీ అవి పండిస్తున్నాం మేడం.
ఓకే, మీరు ఇప్పుడు అందరికీ ఏమని చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నారు? ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి ఏమని అడగాలనుకుంటున్నారు, ఏమని చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నారు?
మాకు మంచి గిట్టుబాటు ధర కావాలనేసి అడుగుతున్నాం మేడం.
ఓకే,
దానివల్ల
actually our farmers Eastern Ghat area, all the farmers even in Hari village and entire Eastern Ghat area, farmers are growing coffee and pepper, including turmeric, most of the spices naturally without adding any inputs. So no pesticide residue. If you test any product, you will not get any pesticide residue, 0 mRL. So but our farmers not getting that whatever organic price. Based on conventional price only, they are getting same market price. So she is requesting FAO ko, if they in continuation, if possible, organic certification ko, if you fund, they will get the organic certification so that they can get the better premium price. So already they are growing without adding any chemicals, so naturally growing. So if they get organic certification, they'll get the better price and better market linkage. Another thing along that, Paderu mein another crop is there, turmeric. Turmeric 6% curcumin is there and more essential oil is there. So that product also farmers are growing without adding any pesticides and any inputs. So that product, if we get GI tagging and branding separately, they will get Paderu mein turmeric also, they will get better premium price. They can sell it better price. That she is requesting. Another thing, they are cultivating along that coffee, turmeric and pepper, millets also. Everybody, she is requesting everybody to eat millets also. So if you eat millet, today caption is that only, better food and better future. If you eat millets, your future will be good. She is telling, she is requesting to everybody to eat millets. That she is telling, and support her farmers by getting premium price.
Thank you very much. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद धनलक्ष्मी जी. Praful Sahu ji, namaskar. We come to our next farmer. She is Prafulla Sahu from Manjiri village in Kalahandi district of Odisha. She is a progressive farmer and a community leader. She has promoted organic cultivation and is one of the symbols of women empowerment through the self-help groups and the farmer producer company. She is the force behind driving a lot of collective actions for climate resilient farming in her region. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रफुल्ल साहू जी। आपके समक्ष हमें एक प्रश्न पूछने का इच्छा हो रहा है और जो शायद आपके लिए बहुत ही जरूरी है कि खेती करते समय मिट्टी, पानी और पेड़ पौधे ये सब चीजों का एक साथ देखभाल कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपने क्लाइमेट रिसिलिएंट और ये सारी जो जलवायु परिवर्तन के समक्ष जो बहुत सारे जो चीज है, तो इसको एक साथ आप कैसे देखने का कोशिश करते हो? मिट्टी कैसे आपका ठीक रहे, पानी भी आप उसका ठीक ठाक उपयोग सिंचाई के लिए कर सकें, और पेड़ पौधे जो अगल बगल में है या जीव जंतु जो हैं एक साथ कैसे वो एक इस पूरे वातावरण में रहने की सुविधा प्रदान कर सकते हैं आप? इसके बारे में आपने कभी कोई कुछ सोचा है?
जय जगन्नाथ। मैं उड़ीसा से आई हूँ और उड़िया से बात करनी हो, क्षमा कर दीजिए। आजिकार सभा रे उपस्थित थिबा समस्त को मोर नमस्कार और हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। मोर नाम प्रफुल्ला साहू, पश्चिम ओडिशा कलाहांडी जिला गोलामुंडी मानवझुर ग्राम पंचायत मो 35 वर्षीय महिला चाषी अटे। आज विश्व खाद्य दिवस अवसर रे आपण मानक सहित कथा हेबाकु मो गर्वित। मो मात्र 1 एकर जमी चाष आरंभ करी अधिकारी समर्थ और मो निज साहस सहित मो गोटे महिला स्वयं सहायक गोष्ठी रे जोग देली और पनीपरिया चाष आरंभ करी से धीरे धीरे मु सफलता पाई। से सफलता मते आत्मविश्वास देथिला आउ सफलता पाई करी मु गोटे प्रोड्यूसर ग्रुप महिला उत्पादक गोष्ठी रे मु जोग देली आउ मोर कठिन परिश्रम बल रे मु आम ब्लॉग रे आउ 23 प्रोड्यूसर ग्रुप गठन करिवारे सहाय्य करथिली आउ सेथिरे भी मु सफलता पाई आउ आम महिला उत्पादक कंपनी गठन कलु। आम स्वयं सहायक गोष्ठी रे 10 जन मेंबर थिलु आउ महिला उत्पादक गोष्ठी रे आमे 120 जन मेंबर छु आउ महिला उत्पादक कंपनी रे 2025 जन शेयर होल्डर अछंती।
प्रमिला दीदी शांकर कहिबार अछि आपण चाष करिबा सहित आपणकर जमी भी केमिति सुस्थ रही परिबो, पानी राकु भी भलो भाबरे उपयोग होई परिबो, आउ पाखरे थिबा जंतु जीव जंतु माने भी केमिति सेफ रही परिबे और परिवेश सेफ रही परिबो। सेति पई आपण कोन करूछंती बा आपणकर कोन कहिबे, को टाइप रा आपण सुस्थ भाबरे करि परिबे बोली सांको मेन क्वेश्चन रहछि।
आम वर्तमान आम गोलामुंडा ब्लॉग रे
actually she's Prafula Sahu from Kalahandi district. She's at first she like to express her heartfelt gratitude to provide the opportunity to participate in this observation and World Food Day observation day, and she is saying she has started their journey from the WSG as a one WSG member in one group. With their commitment and motivation power, he is now able to as a managing director of one FPO's company, and with their involvement and dedication he is able to form 26 FPOs in their villages. Yes. କୁହନ୍ତୁ।
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମ ଗୁଲାମୁଣ୍ଡା ବ୍ଲକରେ ତ ପାଣିର ଅସୁବିଧା ଅଛି ଆଉ ପାଣିର ସବୁ କୂଅ ପାଣିର ଅସୁବିଧା ଥିବାରୁ ଆମ କୂଅ ଖୋଲିଲେ ବି ସେଇ ଜମି ପନିପରିବା ଚାଷରେ ଆମ ସକ୍ସେସ୍ ହେଇପାରୁନାହିଁ, ଟିକେ କମ୍ ହେଉଛି। ଆଉ ମାଟି ତ ସବୁବେଳେ ସମାନ ଥିବ ଏ କଥା କହିହେବ ନାହିଁ, ତ ଆମେ ମାଟିକୁ ଉର୍ବର ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଆଉ ଚାଷ ଅଧିକା ଅମଳ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଜୈବିକ ସାର ପ୍ରୟୋଗ କରୁଛୁ।
She is again saying key for the protection to being soils actually to adopt the organic and natural process of farming is the way on which they can actually protect our soil. And still yet the water is the scarcity in that area, and for that with support of a different government they have also dig the well to, and with the articulate of the proper use of water they can also redress that the issue of water regarding scarcity problem actually. मैम
एक और प्रश्न आपसे मैं जरा पूछना चाहूँगा प्रफुल्ला जी, कि आपने जब बताया कि जो एक जलवायु परिवर्तन के हिसाब से जो आपने जो खेती में बहुत कुछ करने की कोशिश की है, तो इस लड़ाई में आपकी जो भूमिका रही, उस भूमिका को अगर जो एक बड़े पैमाने पर कर ले जाना है, तो उसको कैसे आप अपना क्या सुझाव देना पसंद करेंगे आप?
आपण जोटा कहले कि जलवायु परिवर्तन गोटे मुख्य समस्या अछि, सेतिर आपण मुख्य भूमिका ग्रहण करूचंती, तो ताकू समाधान करबा पई माने भविष्य जोटा को शुद्ध हे, तो आपणकर निजर मत कोन रहइबो, मतामत सुझाव कोन कले एक्चुअली समस्या पूरा परमानेंटली सॉल्व हेई परिबो?
ଆମର ତ ବହୁତ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛୁ ଆମ ବ୍ଲକରେ, ତ ପାଣିର ଅସୁବିଧା ଅଛି। ଆଉ ଏବେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଡ୍ରିପ୍ ଲଗେଇକି ପାଣିର ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛୁ, କାହିଁକି ନା ଡ୍ରିପ୍ରେ ପାଣି ପରିବାକୁ କମ୍ ଯିବ ଆଉ ସବୁ ପରିବାକୁ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରିବ। କୁଆଁର ପାଣି ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ଦେଲେ ସେ ବେଶୀ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ହୋଇଯିବ, ତେଣୁକରି ଡ୍ରିପ୍ ସାହାଯ୍ୟରେ ଆମେ ଚାଷ କରୁଛୁ, ସେଇଟା କିଛି ସକ୍ସେସ୍ ଚାଲୁଛି।
Regarding saying ki managing the water inefficiency, if we use the water from directly from the pipe or pump through the well, then the more water will be lost. Then through the drip irrigation, if they will adopt that practices in cultivation, then they can able to proper use of maximum use of the water resources. So saying yes. ଆଉ ଜଳବାୟୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ପାଇଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର କ'ଣ ସୁଝାବ ରହିବ? ସାହାଯ୍ୟ ପଚାରୁଛନ୍ତି କ'ଣ କଲେ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଏ ଯୋଉ ସମସ୍ୟା ହେଉଛି ହବ ନାହିଁ ବୋଲି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମତାମତ କ'ଣ ରହିବ?
ଜଳବାୟୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ତ ସବୁ ସମୟରେ ସମାନ ନଥାଏ, ଖରିଫରେ ଅଲଗା ହେଉଛି ଆଉ ରବିରେ ଅଲଗା ହେଉଛି, ସମରରେ ଅଲଗା ହେଉଛି। ତ ଆମେ ଖରିଫରେ ଜଲଟା ଭଲ ପାଉଛୁ ଆଉ ସମରରେ ଟିକେ ଆମ ପନିପରିବା ଚାଷଟା କମି ଯାଉଛି।
ତା ବ୍ୟତୀତ କ'ଣ ଆଉ ଭଲ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରିପାରିବେ? ପାଣିର କହିଲେ କି ଭଲ ପରିଚାଳନା, ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଭଲ କ'ଣ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରିପାରିବେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ସୁସ୍ଥ ରହିବ ସବୁ ଜଳବାୟୁ ପରିବେଶ ବୋଲି କ'ଣ କରିବାକୁ ଚିନ୍ତା କରିଛନ୍ତି? She's regarding she's focusing the main water is the most crisis problem in that area. Particularly is focusing regarding the proper management of water resources and the farming practices on which that they can also handle the issues from through the Kharif and Rabi and all the 3 seasons actually during the crop season they can manage. So that's why he's focusing for the drip irrigation and natural farming and the organic farming process to make the field climate clean. And yes.
Thank you, Prafulla ji, and thank you, Shaila. Mahendra Singh ji, namaskar. The next farmer with us is Mr. Mahendra Singh. He is a national award-winning farmer with almost 25 years of experience. He has pioneered the sustainable rice cultivation and crop residue management. largely involved in promoting water saving and eco-friendly practices. Primarily, he is seeking a lot of support from the Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. महेंद्र जी, आपके इस बहुत बड़े एक नेशनल अवार्ड विनिंग फार्मर के तौर पे आपके समक्ष एक प्रश्न मुझे रखने का मन कर रहा है कि आपने अपनी खेती में जो भी बदलाव किए और जो करने की आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं अभी भी, इसमें मौसम के हिसाब से मजबूत बनाने के लिए क्या-क्या बदलाव आपने किए हैं? क्या वो हमारे लोगों से समक्ष कुछ रखना चाहेंगे?
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं महेंद्र सिंह, प्रोग्रेसिव फार्मर, ICAR नेशनल अवार्डी, जिला कैथल, हरियाणा से हूँ। सर जी ने मेरे को सवाल पूछा है कि जब मैं खेती में आया, कम से कम भी मैंने, पहले हमारे जो बुजुर्ग थे, पिताजी थे, परंपरागत खेती वैसे करते थे, तो पढ़ाई छोड़ने के बाद हमारा मन खेती में लगा और उसको बदलाव के बारे में सोचा भी खेती को कैसे अपने घर की आय बढ़ाने के लिए और नई टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ कैसे काम करना है और कैसे पर्यावरण को, वातावरण को, इसका भी ख्याल रखना है। केमिकल जो आज सबका, फार्मर का भी, सरकार का भी एक मुद्दा उठा हुआ है, अभी जहर मुक्त खेती भी करनी है, जिससे हम जो भी खाना, फूड सिक्योरिटी है, जो अपना फूड कहते हैं, फूड इज गुड और बेटर, इसको बनाना है, कैसे रखना है। क्योंकि रासायनिक खेती का आज के दौर में बहुत ही नुकसान हो रहा है। सभी हॉस्पिटल फूड के साथ साथ ये जितनी भी कमाई फार्मर करता है वो हॉस्पिटल में या किसी में दे देता है, उसके पास कुछ नहीं बचता। कहने को तो ये कहते हैं वो भाई हमने इतना कमा लिया, फिर उसके पास कोई बचत नहीं होती। तो हमने इसके लिए नई टेक्नोलॉजी जब शुरू की है, हमने हिसार यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ, हम कृषि विभाग के साथ जुड़ गए, उनके KVK से जुड़ गए। हमने अपने ज़िले में एक प्रगतिशील किसान क्लब डिस्ट्रिक्ट में बना रखा है, उसमें प्रोग्रेसिव फार्मर ले रखे हैं, जिसमें 1000 के आसपास फार्मर हैं। तो सबसे पहले हमने 2000 में हमारे एक अपने DC साहब होते थे, उन्होंने ये सलाह दी थी भी एक प्रोग्रेसिव फार्मर बने, उसमें सभी तरह के फार्मर हों, जिसमें कोई हट के काम कर सके, उसमें एनिमल हस्बेंड्री का भी हो, हॉर्टिकल्चर का भी हो, तो फिशरी का भी हो, एग्रीकल्चर लैंड का भी हो। सभी फार्मर आप इसमें एक दूसरे से अपना सहयोग करेंगे, बताएंगे, कोई ट्रेनिंग लेंगे तो कुछ जिले में मैसेज आएगा। हमने उस पर शुरुआत करना शुरू किया। हमने जब KVK से जब पर्यावरण के लिए जब गेहूं या किसी भी फसल बोते थे, धान की फसल लगाते थे, कुछ भी करते थे, तो एक टेक्नोलॉजी जीरो टिलेज सबसे टेक्नोलॉजी आई, उस पर काम करना शुरू किया। क्यों? फार्मर का खर्चा ज़्यादा बढ़ता था और पर्यावरण है जो वातावरण वो भी दूषित होता था। ट्रैक्टर से साथ, बैलों के साथ, बैलों तो रहे नहीं, ट्रैक्टरों के साथ काम करना पड़ता है। पहले बुजुर्ग करते थे बैलों के साथ खेती, तो उसमें खर्चा बढ़ता था और नुकसान भी होता था। हमने जीरो टिल से गेहूं की बिजाई शुरू करनी, उस पर पानी की बचत हो गई, रिचार्ज का काम किया पानी का, फसल खेत की जुताई करने से बच गया किसान। तो फसल का जो भी कुछ था, पैदावार उसकी यानी 1 से 1.5 गुनी बढ़ी है, घटी नहीं है उसमें। थोड़ा शुरू में जब स्टार्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी आई तो थोड़ी फार्मर को प्रॉब्लम तो आई है भी कैसे करें ना करें। फिर हमने DSR पे भी जीरो टेक्नोलॉजी, जीरो टिलेज आ गई DSR की। उसमें दोनों ही बात है, सरकार ने हमारा सहयोग भी किया, कृषि विभाग ने हमारे को मशीनरी उपलब्ध करवाई सब्सिडी पे। तो DSR का कम से कम पर एकड़ में कम से कम 30 से 35% तक लगभग पानी सेव हो जाता है। आज जो पानी का मुद्दा है, सबसे धान लगाने में तो कम से कम भी 1 किलो चावल उगाने के लिए 4000 लीटर करीब पानी मिलता है, फ्लड इरिगेशन करते हैं तो जीरो टिलेज में 30-35% पानी बच जाता है। और उसमें जमीन भी ऐसी कैसी बनी रहती है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जैसे प्राकृतिक आपदा भी आ जाती है तो उसमें जब भी बारिश आती है तो वो बरसात जो आती है तो पानी, बरसात का पानी रिचार्ज के रूप में काम रहता है और जमीन में नीचे चला जाता है, जिससे वाटर लेवल भी ऊपर आ जाता है, फ्लडिंग का काम रूप धारण नहीं करता। उसके बाद जब फिर हमने ये काम किया भी, जब रासायनिक खेती होती है तो उसमें पशुपालन के लिए कम ध्यान हो गया। अगले नए जनरेशन का जो बच्चे हैं अगले, तो सब पहले तो पशुपालन का काम हर परिवार में था, तो उसके लिए खेत के लिए भी खाद की व्यवस्था, जो अपना गोबर है जो वैसे है, जो वो जरूर चाहिए था। उसके लिए हम कहाँ से लें, कितना कहाँ से लें, बाजार से लाएं तो रासायनिक आता नहीं है। हमने एक बात सोचा, से 20 साल हो गए, हमने जितना भी फसल अवशेष है, कोई सी फसल हो, उसको जमीन में इन सीटू में करना, उसके अंदर मिलाना है। तो हमारे कम से कम भी ये कि कोई मेज लगा लो, राइस लगा लो, बीट लगा लो, जैसे जो घर में यूज होता है तो यूज कर लेते हैं, बाकी को इंस्टीट्यूट में फसल उसमें मिला देते हैं। हमारे मशीनरी अब उपलब्ध हो गई, सरकार ने सब्सिडी पे उपलब्ध करवा दी है। तो उसमें जमीन से मिलाने से जो कार्बन अपना जमीन का घट गया था रासायनिक खाद डालने से, जैसे डीएपी, यूरिया, जो भी कुछ भी गया था, उसमें मिलाने से उसमें हमारा जो कार्बन है वो टिकाऊ हो गया, थोड़ा उसमें परसेंटेज बढ़ने की शुरुआत होगी। वो भी एक बहुत बड़ी उम्मीद है अभी, जैसे सरकार का पैसा बचेगा, आदमी फार्मर रासायनिक खाद से लाइनों में लगने से, पिटने से, या कुछ भी आगे कुछ अपना काम छोड़ के 7-7 दिन लाइन में खड़ा रहता है, वो भी बचेगा। और जो पर्यावरण है, जो आज ये अपना फसल वशेष है, जो कह दिया अभी पराली में आग लगा दिया, बर्नर का इशू चल रहा है। आज हमारा जितना भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, आज के दौर में अभी धान का सीजन चला हुआ है, अभी तक 0 बर्निंग पे चल रहा है, सब ग्रीन जोन में आ गया है। हम तो ये कहते हैं सरकार से, बस हमारे फार्मर को तो एक ही समस्या है, जैसे अब की बार हमारे हरियाणा पंजाब में फसल ठीक थी, सारा काम ठीक था, प्राकृतिक आपदा आ गई, बरसात, मौसम खराब हो गया, किसी के पास खाने के लिए दाना भी नहीं है। कोई भी फसल लगा लो, कॉटन लगा लो, राइस लगा लो, बाजरा लगा लो, मूंग लगा लो, कुछ भी लगा लो, कहीं कहीं तो ऐसा हो गया कि वो अगली फसल की बिजाई करने के लिए उसके पास पैसे भी नहीं है। सिर्फ किसान की खेती है जो खुले आसमान में खड़ी है। ये प्राकृतिक आपदा जब भी मारती है, इसको बीमारी या प्राकृतिक पर मारती है, वैसे किसान सब कुछ करना चाहता है, तो सरकार ने इसके लिए ऊपर ध्यान देना चाहिए, ऐसी सोच निकालनी चाहिए जिससे सरकार कुछ उसको हेल्प कर सके।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद महेंद्र जी। In the interest of just giving a very brief summary of what Mr. Mahendra Singh said, that he has been been able to use the technology, has saved 30 to 35%. Sorry? Yeah, okay. So that's what. एक चीज और भी महेंद्र जी आपसे पूछने का मन कर रहा है कि इतनी सारी मेहनत से आपने काम की, तो FAO जैसी एजेंसी को आपको क्या हिदायत देने का मन कर रहा है?
नहीं, हम FAO एजेंसी को हिदायत देना क्यों, हम मेरे फार्म पे भी 2-3 बार विजिट कर लिया उन्होंने, गए भी, मेरे को हेल्प भी करते हैं।
सुझाव क्या है?
सुझाव तो ये है भी FAO भाई बहुत बात बोलते हैं भी, ऐसी किसान के लिए नीति बनाए, नीति आयोग को भी ये भी आप सिफारिश करें, कुछ ऐसे सुझाव हो। किसान का मैंने बोले अभी खुले आसमान की खेती है, खुली खेती है किसान की, उसी से डर लगता है। ऐसी कोई पॉलिसी निकाल के लगाए। अगर किसान नहीं है ना, किसान एक अन्नदाता भी कहा जाता है। अगर किसान है तो अपने फूड सिक्योरिटी हलाल फूड है, काम कैसे, चाहे 2 एकड़ किसान हो चाहे 50 एकड़ किसान हो, उसने तो काम करना चाहता है वो, उसके लिए ही अगर जब ऐसी आपदा आ जाती है ना, किसान का मन पीछे हट जाता है, छोड़ इस खेती को, क्या करना है, सब नुकसान हो गया। अब की बार ऐसा काम हुआ, अभी किसी के पशु भी नहीं रहा, घर पे जो पशु था ना, बाढ़ स्थिति ऐसी आई भी पशु भी ये नहीं पता कहाँ से खुल के कहाँ चला गया, खुंटे पे वहां जिसने डेयरी कर रखी थी वहीं खड़ा खोलने भी नहीं बचा सका उसको, वहीं खड़े मर गया पशु भी पानी के अंदर। मैं तो FAO के यही सुझाव करूँ भी ऐसी कोई पॉलिसी निकाले, किसान खड़ा रहे और अपना काम करता रहे, इस देश का अन्नदाता कहलाता रहे, इस देश के फूड सिक्योरिटी में सहयोग करता रहे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद महेंद्र जी। गुरसेवक सिंह जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर।
Our next farmer, Mr. Gursevak Singh, is from Sangrur, Punjab. He is a progressive farmer who has also adopted the direct seeded rice cultivation practices. He is able to save water. He is cutting cost on the cost of cultivation. And he is also instrumental in inspiring others to shift towards this kind of a sustainable cultivation. गुरसेवक जी, आप एक नौजवान किसान हैं, तो मेरा आपसे एक ही प्रश्न रहेगा कि आप हमारे नौजवानों को क्या कहना चाहेंगे जो खेती अपनाना चाहते हैं?
सत श्री अकाल जी सारे नू। मेरा नाम गुरसेवक सिंह है, पिंड बासियर के जिला संगरूर का रहने वाला मैं। ਤੇ ਬਲਾਕ ਭਵਾਨੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ੀ ਵਿਗਿਆਨ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਤੇ FAO ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਅਧੀਨ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ 6-7 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਖੇਤੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਪਿਛਲੇ 3 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ DSR ਵਿਧੀ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਝੋਨੇ ਦੀ ਬਿਜਾਈ ਕਰ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਚਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਖਰਚਾ ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਗਾ ਤੇ ਫਸਲ ਵੀ ਉਨੀ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੱਦੂ ਕਰਕੇ ਲਵਾਉਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਸੁਝਾਅ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ
ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂਜੀ So I'm happy to translate what Gursev Singh ji is saying, that he has been doing the rice cultivation since last few years. 10 saal to kar rahe ho?
हाँ जी सर 10 साल.
Since last 3 years. And he has done direct seeding rice technology, and he has found it useful in terms of reducing the water uptake for the crop. And
ਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਜੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਿੰਗ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਬਚਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ DSR ਵਿਧੀ ਅਪਣਾਈਏ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੀ 5-4 ਮੁੰਡੇ ਪਿੰਡੋਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ 2 ਜਣੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਨੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਅੱਧਾ ਕੁ ਕਿੱਲਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਤੇ ਫਸਲ ਵੀ ਉਨੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਖਰਚਾ ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਸੇਵ ਵਾਟਰ ਵੀ ਸੇਵ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ when I started this, there were another 4-5 boys from my village who also joined hands, and they also helped me, and they also followed the same experiment. We found that our cost of cultivation has actually gone down, and we have saved water, and now we are very happy that we are doing it. Hanji sir. Again.
ਤੇ ਸਰ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਦੀਨ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਕੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਜੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ 15-20 ਦਿਨ ਜੀ ਗੌਰ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਆ 15-20 ਦਿਨ ਮਤਲਬ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੇਤ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਪਰੇਅ ਲੇਟ ਕਰ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ
He has encountered a problem in implementing DSR technology. Earlier, he was not having that problem of weeds, but now he is having the problem of weeds. And he is not able to find out how to solve this problem, because to solve this problem, he has to apply chemicals, or he has to work for 15 days more before everything starts to take care of the weeds mechanically. So this stale seed bed technology, which is a mechanical cultural method, he is using that, but that is taking away so much of extra time, which is a strain on him. Hanji, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸੋਲਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਨਦੀਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨੂੰ
ਮਤਲਬ ਨਦੀਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੋਮਨੀ ਗੋਲਡ ਦੀ ਸਪਰੇਅ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੱਖਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ੀ ਵਿਗਿਆਨ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਜੀ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤੇ FAO ਵੀ ਟੀਮ ਵੀ ਆਈ ਤੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਨਾਲ ਜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਨਿਪਟਾਰਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜੀ ਕੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਸਰ ਇੱਕ ਜੀ PR ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਿਜਾਈ ਕਰਦਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ PR 131 PR 126 ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੀ ਪਰਾਲੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਜੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਅੱਗ ਤੋਂ ਬਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੀਲੀ ਪੂਸਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਰਾਲੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੀ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੈੱਟ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਤੇ
So with the help of the FAO interventions, he has implemented the technology, and now he is satisfied that overall he is able to handle the weeds with minimal utilization of chemical, which is the herbicide. And other than that, he has also implemented with our advice 2 new varieties that he has tried, PR 126 and PR 131, which means that the rice residue, the paddy residue which he gets from those varieties is lot lesser, and it becomes easier for him to manage, so he doesn't have to burn that parali, which is the paddy residue. हाँ जी।
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
गुरुसेवक जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. इनफैक्ट गुरुसेवक जी, महेंद्र जी, प्रफुल्ल साहू जी और धनलक्ष्मी जी और लक्ष्मी जी, आप लोगों के साथ और समक्ष बैठ करके जो हम लोगों ने गुफ्तगू बातें करने की कोशिश की, थोड़ी जानकारी जो ली, इसका वक्त निर्धारित करना हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है. बहुत ही अच्छी बातें आप लोग कर रहे थे जो कि हमें काफ़ी अपने आप में एक समझ प्रदान करने की कोशिश कर रही है. हमारे वक्त के मतलब कमी के कारण हम आपसे आगे बातचीत बहुत नहीं, हम आगे अभी जब हम मिलेंगे खाने में तब हम इस बातचीत को चालू रखेंगे. Because of time constraints, we may not be able to continue, but I think their words, their experiences of life and the way that they have been able to weave their story, that's very interesting. And we need to kind of take it forward and continue listening to our beloved farmers. Only the last thing, our colleague, our farmer colleague from Andhra Pradesh, Dhanalakshmi, she wants to provide a message to FAO in her own language. Over to Dhanalakshmi, please. Thank you. And this will be the final closing one from the farmer's side.
ధనలక్ష్మి గారు, మీరు ప్రపంచ ఆహార దినోత్సవాన్ని కోదు లాంగ్వేజ్లో చెప్తున్నారు కదా. షీ వాంట్స్ టు సే ఇన్ హర్ వర్డ్స్ ఇన్ కోదు లాంగ్వేజ్. దే ట్రైబల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నేమ్ ఇస్ కోదు. షీ వాంట్ టు స్పీక్ ఇన్ హర్ ఓన్ లాంగ్వేజ్. ప్రపంచ ఆహార దినోత్సవం దేశ అది అందరికీ చెప్పండి.
దేశ మారో పర్బు కిన్నో మారో రాహ కిన్నో బర జనతై కలహామన్న.
She told in her language, World Food Day, Kodu language, she told in that. Desa, Unda
Tinno, Parbuke Hamaro Kalhaman.
I also can't see. Okay. Next, she want to thanks to FAO because first time she came from the village. She never came out from that village. First time she came that too by flight. She never traveled by train also. So she wants to specially thank FAO. And another మీరు అందరినీ పాడేరు పిలవాలనుకున్నారు కదా, అది ఒకసారి చెప్పండి.
అంటే
కోదులో చెప్పండి. ఓకే.
ನಾನು ಇಂಬ ಅವಾಹ ಚಿರಾಜಿಟಿ మీరుస్కే మా మానవ పాడేరు వాతి దెంజి నాను కోరుకొడ్డింది.
If she is inviting everybody specially to visit Paderu, then you can understand real sustainable agriculture. So she is inviting all of you personally. Thank you. Thank you
very much. And one more, Lakshmi ji, she wants to speak a bit.
Thank you. मैं इस मंच में सबका आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ GF7 के, क्योंकि उन्होंने ही मुझे यहाँ स्पॉन्सर किया है. और मैं एक बात बोलना चाहती हूँ, घना अंधेरा छाया है, घना अंधेरा छाया है, दिन को अभी आना है, धरती है किसानों की और यहाँ अमृत को फैलाना है. तो GF7 से मेरी और FAO से एक ही अनुरोध होगी कि आपकी जो टीम है उनको ऑर्गेनिक एग्रीकल्चर, नेचुरल एग्रीकल्चर की प्रमोशन में आप लोग हेल्प करें, ताकि हम किसानों को, सर बोल रहे थे तो मेरे आंख से भी आंसू आ रही थी कि हम लोग को बहुत बार ऐसे लॉसेस होती है जो कि भरपाई नहीं होती है, क्योंकि हमारे बाकी लोग जॉब में है तो उनसे कुछ पैसा बहुत बार हम लोग ले लेते हैं, लेकिन बाकी किसान तो ऐसे होते हैं जिनके पास वो नहीं होता है तो भरपाई नहीं कर पाते हैं. तो ऑर्गेनिक एग्रीकल्चर इज ओनली अ सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर, जहाँ की जीरो बजट फार्मिंग हम कर सकते हैं. तो इसी के लिए मेरा विनम्र अनुरोध है आप लोगों से कि इसका सहयोग का हाथ बढ़ाएं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Lakshmi ji. Over to Pooja, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manoj. Thank you. Namaste. This is definitely a conversation that we do not want to end, and there's always a lot more that we can connect over and discuss when we have our dinner. But now we also come to another very special segment. We want to highlight the strength of collaboration, the collaboration of the Rome-based agencies, FAO, WFP, and IFAD. And together we drive the United Nations collective mission of ending hunger. These three agencies complement each other's agenda, from FAO's technical expertise to IFAD's focus on rural investment and smallholder empowerment, and WFP's leadership in humanitarian food assistance and nutrition. May I now invite Mr. James Mark D'Souza Shields, the IFAD Country Director, India, to kindly address the gathering. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I'm humbled. I am truly humbled. We were sitting there looking at the book, this beautiful book that's been made about FAO in India. And I saw all the pictures of the men and women that have come before us, that have gotten us to where we are today. And we have to be humble of all the incredible work and innovation and insights and just work that people have done to make the world a better place through FAO, globally and in India. So it's a true honor to join you today to celebrate World Food Day and the marking of 80 years of the Food and Agricultural Organization in the United Nations. I'm not going to talk about IFAD and the many billions of dollars we've invested in rural areas and food systems. I don't want to talk about IFAD. I want to talk about food and FAO. As Takayuki reminded us earlier in the evening, food is more than just sustenance. It's the foundation of dignity, as he said, of health, of peace, and it's also an awesome power, a powerful driver of change. And for 8 decades, imagine that, 8 decades, FAO has strengthened that foundation through science, through partnerships, and through the conviction that food and agriculture can unlock the potential of people and communities, empowering opportunity, empowering innovation, and resilience. And IFAD and FAO, well, we share a lot. We do, and not just our home city, Rome, which we do share, but we also share this same heart, the commitment to improve lives through sustainable and inclusive food systems. This is a mission and an approach to doing agriculture. It's particularly relevant today in the changing global context in which we exist, where we must continue to draw upon all our shared strengths, all of them, to support inclusive, economic, opportunity-rich food systems that are climate resilient, nutrition sensitive, and unlock the power and potential of all, but particularly women and particularly youth. In a world that seems almost intractably divided these days, increasingly so, it is so important to find common ground. And one of my heroes, Jose Andres, founder of World Central Kitchen, once said, "We are all citizens of the world. What's good for you must be good for all. What is good for you must be good for all. If you are lost, share a plate of food with a stranger, and you will find out who you are." Sharing meals and breaking bread together remind us of our shared humanity. It builds community and strengthens the bonds that connect us across all the differences that we may have. Just imagine for a second, all the change and opportunities and dreams that were born in the family kitchen, or the friends hanging out at the food stall on the street, or at the community picnics and festivals. Looking ahead, FAO, IFAD, the UN system, civil society, universities, governments, and particularly the private sector are all going to have to work together to build on and scale the innovations, invest in the very models and knowledge that FAO has given us over 80 years of incredible and fantastic work. And if we do this all well together, we do it together, lasting opportunity and strength for all households, communities, and nations are going to be created. And if we do it in partnerships with a country like India, a country that has shown remarkable leadership in partnering with UN agencies to pioneer inclusive and sustainable development models in all sectors, not just agriculture, but particularly in agriculture, the results will not just be good, they're going to be great. And they're going to inspire replication and scaling the world round. I guarantee you, we see it already. So before I conclude, I want to ask you a favor. I want you to all close your eyes for a moment. Can you do that? Just close your eyes. And now think of all the incredible innovations and advances that you know of that FAO and its partners have created. Think of them. And think of the many millions, thousands that you don't even know about. Now think about what food and life would have been like or might be like in a future without FAO. Congratulations again, the FAO and the FAO team and everybody in this room who believes that food systems can be sustainable and they can be empowering. And thank you again, FAO, for your 80 years of dedication and incredible partnership, purpose, and impact.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shields, for your heartfelt words. And we are deeply honored to have you here with us and for your very thoughtful words for FAO and its journey over the past 8 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, as we now draw to the close of our celebrations, I now invite Dr. Konda Chawa, the FAO Assistant Representative in India program, to kindly deliver the closing remarks.
Thank you, Pooja. Good evening, all distinguished guests, colleagues, partners, and friends. As we conclude this remarkable celebration of the World Food Day 2025, marking FAO's 80th anniversary, I'm honored to deliver these closing remarks and extend our heartfelt thanks to all of you for being here. Today has been more than a commemoration. It has been a celebration of partnership, progress, and purpose. We reflected on the 8 decades of FAO's journey with India, a founding member and a global agricultural leader. India has progressed from food scarcity to food surplus, from subsistence farming to climate-smart innovation, and India's transformation has been extraordinary, and FAO is proud to have been part of this journey. Our sincere gratitude to Mr. Devesh Chaturvedi, who is not here, but who gave his inspiring remarks. Likewise, for the grateful presence of Mr. A.P. Das Joshi, and we're also grateful for the presence of senior representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Ministry of Food Processing and Industries, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Niti Aayog, and the Indian Council for Agricultural Research and other government institutions. Special thanks to Shombi Sharp, who was here. Likewise, our appreciation to the 3 Rome-based agencies and also the other UN agencies and the UN system colleagues who are here. And we really appreciate the work that we've been working together. Also, I acknowledge the work that we've been doing together with the development partners and also the other civil society organizations. Here, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the farmers who shared their stories. Their stories are the heart of our food systems. They are the stewards of our land, champions of our resilience, and their voices ground our work with reality and purpose. As we look ahead, we look forward to carrying the spirit of this day in terms of believing in better food and a better future through collaboration, and continue to invest in nutrition-sensitive agriculture, climate resilience, One Health, digital innovation, inclusive growth, so that no one is left behind. On behalf of FAO, I thank you for your partnership, commitment, and shared vision. Let us move forward from the 80 years of progress to a century of promise. Thank you very much, and happy World Food Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Konda. As we now come close to the formal celebrations, the celebrations are yet to continue downstairs. So kindly join us for dinner, and we'll continue the conversation there. Thank you so much for 80 years and beyond. Thank you.